Welcome back to the Industrial Cyber Weekly Roundup, where we bring you the latest news and updates in the industrial cybersecurity sector. I'm Bailey, your host, and these are the latest updates and news nuggets from this fifth week of 2023. Rising cybersecurity threats and attacks have led to the communications sector needing greater protection of network infrastructure and availability. Telecommunications companies have become an attractive target for attackers as their networks can be used as a backdoor to other organizations, making it handy for cybercriminals to gain unauthorized access. Their networks are also used to build, control, and operate other critical infrastructure sectors, including energy, information technology, and transportation systems. Some key factors that make the communication sector vulnerable to cyber attacks are that the communication service providers, or CSPs, often face multiple and large attack surfaces. They also have a limited security budget and have to weigh the security measures against the cost and priorities, often with limited security expertise. Furthermore, the various type of attack scenarios, attack methods, types of data, and systems that need to be protected are huge. These CSPs cannot build expertise in all the required security domains and have to prioritize focus areas. This week in the news, the CISA coordinated with the Homeland Security Systems Engineering and Development Institute and updated the best practices for MITRE ATT&CK mapping. The new version covers common analytical biases, mapping mistakes, specific MITRE ATT&CK for ICS, and changes made to the framework since CISA initially published the best practices in June 2021. With the sharp rise in malicious cyber activity and the need to maintain relevancy and maximize impact for defenders, MITRE ATT&CK has also evolved the attack framework, adding major new structures, features, and techniques. The NIST released a voluntary PNT profile, created using the NIST cybersecurity framework, to help organizations manage risks to systems, networks, and assets that use PNT services as part of their risk management program. The profile offers a flexible framework for users of PNT to manage risks associated with PNT signals and data, which can be disrupted or manipulated naturally, artificially, intentionally, or unintentionally. The HC3 unit under the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services identified in an analyst note that the KillNet hacktivist group is actively targeting the healthcare and public health sector. HC3 said that on January 28, 2023, an alleged KillNet attack list for hospitals and medical organizations in several countries was found by users and publicly shared. The agency also revealed that the group has previously targeted the U.S. healthcare industry, is known to launch DDoS attacks, and operates multiple public channels aimed at recruitment and garnering attention from these attacks. In a report this week, the U.S. GAL proposed 3 actions related to the challenges faced when it comes to securing federal systems and information. These initiatives include improving the implementation of government-wide cybersecurity, addressing weaknesses in federal agency information security programs, and increasing the federal response to cyber incidents to better protect federal systems and information. The Joint Cyber Defense Collaborative, or JCDC, unveiled its 2023 planning agenda focused on working on joint cyber defense plans covering systemic risk, collective cyber response, and high-risk communities. The initiative will maintain flexibility to undertake urgent planning efforts as the risk environment changes. The 2023 planning agenda also outlines an effort to strengthen the protection of civil society organizations at higher risk of being targeted by foreign state hackers through collaborative planning with key government and industry stakeholders. Australia's CISC published its risk assessment advisory for critical infrastructure for the communications sector, highlighting that an outage affecting a critical asset in the communications sector could have substantial economic or societal implications. The impacts of such disruptions could be significant depending on their geographical scope and the extent of the effect on the broader network. This could range from financial penalties to sustained communications interruptions, resulting in financial losses, loss of life, and/or damage to reputation. The U.S. Department of Justice announced its months-long disruption campaign against the Hive ransomware group, which has targeted more than 1,500 victims across hospitals, school districts, financial firms, and critical infrastructure sectors in over 80 countries worldwide. Hive ransomware hackers used a RAS model featuring administrators, sometimes called developers, and affiliates, and employed a double extortion model of attack. Since late July, the FBI has breached the Hive's computer networks, acquired its decryption keys, and made them available to victims worldwide, thereby preventing them from having to pay the $130 million ransom demand. Europol supported German, Dutch, and US authorities in disrupting and taking down the infrastructure used by the Hive ransomware affiliates, involving law enforcement authorities from a total of 13 countries. Law enforcement teams were able to identify the decryption keys and share them with many of the victims, helping them regain access to their data without having to pay the cybercriminals' ransomware. The agency streamlined victim mitigation efforts with other EU countries, thus preventing private companies from becoming Hive victims. Recorded Future reported that it remains highly likely that Russian intelligence, military, and law enforcement services have a long-standing, tacit understanding with cybercriminal threat actors. The intelligence company also said that for cybercrime groups who have pledged their allegiance to the Kremlin, the unspoken connections have deepened. Russian cybercriminals and self-described hacktivists are actively targeting Ukrainian entities and infrastructure, as well as entities located in states that have declared their support for Ukraine. In another report, Recorded Future's Insect Group detailed Blue Bravo threat group that overlaps with the Russian APT activity group tracked as APT-29 and Nobelium, which Western governments and researchers have linked to the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, or SVR. Blue Bravo hackers used a compromised website containing the text Ambassador Schedule November 2022 as part of a lure operation. Well, that wraps up our action-packed week here in the industrial cybersecurity space. Keep checking out industrialcyber.co for the latest stories, resources, and updates about the industry. Have a great week, and I will see you next Friday.